Welcome back, another episode. According to the CBS synopsis for tonight's CSI, Vegas Season 3 Episode 6, the CSI team investigates a radioactive crime scene that left a father and son dead. You won't want to miss tonight's Season 3 Episode 6, so make sure to tune in for our live coverage of CBS's CSI Vegas recap at 10 p.m. Tell us in the comments how thrilled you are about this season so far while you wait for our recap. Maxine has no faith in the robot or Josh. She also held onto the robot for that reason. She still thinks it's capable of independent thought. She wanted to make sure everything was in order before returning the robot because she doesn't think the matter was resolved. Only a fresh instance diverted everyone's attention. As soon as he walked inside, it appeared on his camera. A hazmat suit was on him. Serena and Ally are no different. As soon as they realized what it was, they had to immediately leave the house. They needed to take an outside shower. They received clothing. How far the radiation spread is unknown. They introduced a specialist. She provided them with the equipment they needed to identify a hot zone and then avoid it. Radiation poisoning causes all internal organs to shut down. Hence, there is no known cure. People who have it end up bleeding from their mouths, ears, and eyes. Harry Palatine and his son, Nick, were the victims. Nick was away from college for spring break. They began to encounter the symptoms when he and his father were spending the time watching old movies. In front of that television, they both passed away. Nick hardly had time to pick up the phone. Apart from their murders, someone killed them with radiation, which implied that the person was most likely dissatisfied with Harry Palatine's work. He was a member of the State Nuclear Committee. An additional nuclear station just outside of Las Vegas was being considered. Harry received nothing but enemies in return for what was meant to be an influx of work. The wife had a lot of connections. She had wealth. Harry wasn't. Harry didn't grow up in a wealthy family. It was just too bad that he was the committee's public face. Now that he's gone, he wants to help people. A pellet of nuclear fuel killed him. It had broken. The surrounding air was impacted. Harry and Nick experienced hours of exposure. Likewise with his spouse. She was placed under guardianship. The nuclear sites where the uranium pellet was supposed to be housed normally kept it well secured. The expert was Angela Hopp. She intended to attach the pellet to a certain location. Next, report the breach to the website. Sadly, Angela was exposed to the pellet for an excessive amount of time. The same ailments that killed Harry and Nick started to affect her. Angela was aware of her limited time. She put Harry's harshest critic to the test in an attempt to help them wrap up the case. His next-door neighbor. The same neighbor, believing the end of the world was near, built a bunker and converted his savings into gold. Angela was unable to accomplish much more due to her symptoms. The hospital received her report. Josh paid her a visit to explain how she was found out. Angela's hazmat suit had a little cut, but she wasn't afraid or anxious about what might happen next. The remaining crime lab samples came out clean. Angela eventually requested to die near her old surroundings, so Josh got to drive her home. If she had stayed at the hospital, she claimed she would have received terrible meals. After she muttered something about having the freedom to enjoy every moment, Josh checked the blood that she had earlier spilled. Everyone then set out to find Angela. Taking all that gold with her, she fled. When the police finally caught up to her, they took her into custody on charges of premeditated double murder. With the intention of getting near the gold, she slaughtered the Palatines. However, Max has changed lately. She dug deeper into the murder of Cuvas. She was able to determine that Cuvas was killed in the presence of two individuals. Max even managed to get a picture of the blonde. For more videos, subscribe.